1. The Trinity Killer's return as Arthur Mitchell. One of the most significant Easter eggs in Dexter Resurrection is the brief return of Arthur Mitchell, famously known as the Trinity Killer. Played by John Lithgow, this character was the formidable villain of Dexter's 4th season, and is widely regarded as the darkest and most chilling antagonist in the original series. Although the Trinity Killer was killed by Dexter in Season 4, his presence in Resurrection appears as a phantom or vision when Dexter wakes up in a hospital bed, suggesting an internal haunting rather than a physical comeback. This cameo serves multiple purposes.
Wait, you think Harrison's my fault?
It connects Resurrection closely to the original show's legacy, reminds viewers of Dexter's darkest adversary, who changed his life irrevocably, and sets a haunting tone by reflecting Dexter's unresolved trauma linked to that season. It's also an elegant nod to fans without overshadowing the new storylines, as Lithgow only filmed one day of scenes for this purpose. 2. The getaway yacht scene and nighttime body disposal. Dexter Resurrection pays homage to one of the original series' most iconic visual motifs, the yacht getaway and nighttime disposal of bodies at sea. In the original Dexter series, the final episodes often contained scenes where bodies or evidence were discarded discreetly on boats under the cover of darkness. Resurrection recreates this imagery precisely, visually recalling those tense moments and reinforcing Dexter's enduring method of cleaning up after his kills. The yacht is more than a setting. It symbolizes Dexter's attempt to maintain control over his double life. The scene acts as a visual Easter egg, reminding the audience of the early season's balanced methodic pace, and offers continuity to the character's long-established habits. 3. Brian Moser's Ice Truck Killer return. And the meaning of 103. Brian Moser, Dexter's long-lost brother and the infamous Ice Truck Killer, reappears in Dexter Resurrection, not only as a character, but as a symbol tied to deeply rooted psychological trauma. One of the most notable Easter eggs connected to Brian is the recurring significance of the number 103, which references the date of their mother Laura Moser's brutal murder, October 3rd. This number appears in subtle places, tying back to their shared traumatic past and the dark passenger theme that forces Dexter to confront his origins repeatedly. Brian's return and these numerical Easter eggs create a direct link to the foundational parts of Dexter's identity and history, grounding Resurrection in the series' original emotional core. 4. The present timeline Easter egg linking to Dexter. Original Sin. Another intricate Easter egg in Resurrection is the introduction of a present timeline detail that connects directly to Dexter Original Sin, the prequel series. This comes through a news article about Aaron Spencer, which is the first ever explicit present timeline Easter egg, tying Resurrection to Original Sin, with a precise date and contextual relevance. It serves as a bridge linking the spin-off prequel with the Resurrection timeline, expanding the Dexter universe's continuity. This connection is subtle but important, because it enriches the story world by acknowledging events and characters across multiple series, reinforcing a coherent and layered narrative universe. 5. Reference to Dexter's death in New Blood. One of the most significant Easter eggs in Dexter Resurrection is the direct reference to Dexter's apparent death at the end of Dexter New Blood. While New Blood concluded with Dexter being shot by his son Harrison and left bleeding in the snow, Resurrection retcons this event by explaining that Dexter survived due to the extreme cold. Medical experts consulted within the show's lore state that hypothermia slowed Dexter's heart rate and metabolic functions, which helped him survive what would otherwise be a fatal gunshot wound. This survival is pivotal because it links the two series narratively and provides context for Dexter's gradual recovery and resurrection. The show also recalls this past event in a subtle way through visual motifs like flashes of blood on snow and Dexter's fragile physical state early on, reinforcing the connection in the audience's mind without rehashing the New Blood finale verbatim. Moreover, Dexter's interaction with his son Harrison in Resurrection is layered with echoes of that violent act, especially the lingering emotional trauma from Harrison's shooting of his father, deepening their complex father-son dynamic. 6. Blood Slide and Ice Truck Killer callbacks. Throughout Resurrection, there are several visual and thematic Easter eggs referencing Dexter's original exploits, particularly the iconic blood slides that were central to the original series' trophy method.
Sometimes it sets my teeth on edge. Other times it helps me control the chaos.
These slides mark the victims Dexter selected, symbolizing his meticulous nature and morbid collection. Resurrection integrates this motif by showing characters connected to past victims or killers through imagery of blood slides or references to other notorious killers like the Ice Truck Killer. The Ice Truck Killer, who first appeared in Season 1 of the original series, is referenced through hints in the background settings and subtle narrative allusions to Dexter's early detective work in Miami. These callbacks serve to honor the show's deep roots and remind fans of Dexter's origins as a balance between forensic investigation and his darker killer persona. 7. Symbolic use of jazz music. Music plays an important role in Dexter Resurrection's atmospheric storytelling, and the use of the jazz piece Cristo Redentor is particularly significant. The track is used not just as background music but as a symbolic nod to the series' legacy. Jazz has long been associated with Dexter's internal world, reflecting the mix of complexity, emotional depth, and underlying melancholy within his character. Cristo Redentor operates as a musical motif linking Resurrection back to the original series, evoking a sense of continuity and reflection. The choice of such a contemplative piece highlights key emotional moments, underscoring Dexter's struggle with his identity and past demons. The recurring jazz theme also helps maintain tonal consistency across the series, signaling to longtime viewers the deeper symbolic layers behind the narrative. 8. Episode titles as meta-commentary. The episode titles in Dexter Resurrection function as subtle Easter eggs themselves, often containing layered meanings that reflect overarching themes or foreshadow plot developments. For example, the episode titled The Kill Room Where It Happens is a direct meta-commentary referencing Dexter's infamous sanctuaries, where he disposes of his victims meticulously and with ritualistic precision. This title recalls the original kill rooms Dexter used in earlier seasons and hints at how the new season will revisit or reinvent these iconic spaces. Other episode titles cleverly allude to Dexter's ongoing psychological battles, his complicated relationships, and hints at new characters such as Red, who play pivotal roles in Resurrection's storyline. These titles serve as both thematic anchors and hidden clues, encouraging attentive viewers to decode their double meanings as the series unfolds. 9. Miami Metro Detective references in Dexter Resurrection. Dexter Resurrection weaves deliberate references to Miami Metro police detectives to firmly connect the series back to Dexter's original universe. Several key characters from Miami Metro, including Joey Quinn, Angel Batista, and Vince Masuka, make appearances or are referenced, grounding Resurrection in the policing world fans have seen throughout the franchise. Joey Quinn's return is notable, especially as he is now promoted to lieutenant, a rank he attained sometime after the events of the original series. This promotion is significant as it mirrors the progression of other Miami Metro officers like Maria LaGuerta, showing both real-time character development and continuity. Scenes featuring Miami Metro detectives are used to reaffirm the law enforcement backdrop against which Dexter's shadowy actions unfold, and to highlight the ongoing police pressure in Miami, despite Dexter's activities moving to a new setting. References to investigative tactics and challenges faced by detectives Batista and Quinn remind viewers of the cat-and-mouse dynamic that defined Dexter's relationship with the police for many years. 10. Chainsaw imagery as a symbol of childhood trauma. Throughout Dexter Resurrection, visual motifs like the chainsaw evoke deep psychological and narrative significance. The chainsaw is a direct callback to Dexter and his brother Brian Moser's early traumatic experience, being present for their mother Laura's brutal murder inside a shipping container. This horrific event is etched into their psyches and defines their development as serial killers. Resurrection uses chainsaw imagery not just as a nod to fans, but as a symbolic reminder that unresolved past trauma continues to haunt Dexter. This symbol also ties Dexter's present struggles back to his origin story, emphasizing that while he might have physically left Miami, the psychological scars of that trauma remain a key driver of his behavior and motivations. 11. The new Dark Passenger Killer in Dexter Resurrection. In Dexter Resurrection, the Dark Passenger name is taken by a New York serial killer named Ronald Red Schmidt. Unlike Dexter's internal Dark Passenger, which metaphorically represents his urge to kill guided by a strict moral code, Red is a ruthless real-world murderer. He targets rideshare drivers, decapitating them with a wire saw, and taking their driver's licenses as trophies. He wears a special hoodie equipped with infrared lights to evade dashcam surveillance, making him nearly invisible on cameras. Red's motive is personal, and his killings are fueled by anger and grief, lacking the ethical boundaries Dexter imposes on himself. This new Dark Passenger is a dark reflection of what Dexter could become without control or purpose. Dexter's mission to stop Red is also a symbolic reclaiming of the Dark Passenger identity. By killing Red, Dexter confronts and asserts ownership over his darker instincts, distinguishing his own code from the chaos Red represents. This confrontation highlights a key theme of Resurrection: Dexter's struggle to redefine himself after nearly dying, moving beyond his past while facing new threats to his identity. 12. Miguel's graveyard hallucination and symbolic headstones. In one haunting scene, Dexter experiences a graveyard hallucination where several headstones bear the names of important innocent victims from across the franchise, including his late wife Rita, his sister Deborah, and Maria LaGuerta. This apparition is a powerful symbolic Easter egg, representing Dexter's ongoing psychological burden and guilt. These headstones act as a visual ledger of Dexter's indirect responsibility for the death of those closest to him. The scene also foreshadows unresolved storylines and Dexter's continuing battle with his past. For fans, it's a moment rich with meaning, linking Resurrection emotionally and thematically to the entire Dexter saga by acknowledging the weight of those who have been profoundly affected by Dexter's world. 13. The Clown Suit and Prater's Trophy Vault. In Dexter Resurrection Episode 4, Dexter is introduced to Leon Prater, a wealthy venture capitalist with a dark obsession for serial killers. Prater's penthouse hides a secret museum dedicated to infamous killers, both real and fictional. Among the memorabilia, a clown suit stands out, referencing John Wayne Gacy's infamous Pogo the Clown costume. This is a direct nod to Dexter Original Sin, where the Gacy costume featured prominently. Dexter's stunned reaction underscores the continuity of Resurrection with the prequel series. The museum also features a blood-stained fridge from cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer, and artifacts linked to Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, and others. This setting is a meta-commentary on the serial killer mythos, placing Dexter amid celebrated murderers, contrasting his own code of targeting only criminals. 14. Dexter's blood slides and trophies displayed. In a pivotal moment within Leon Prater's museum, Dexter finds a display containing trophies from some of his most iconic kills. This includes the hammer he used to kill Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer. Equally significant is the box of blood slides, an iconic symbol carrying deep meaning from the original Dexter series. These slides were seized by the FBI during LaGuardia's investigation and thought lost, so their appearance in Prater's collection is a substantial callback. The display also includes the table where Dexter killed his brother, the ice truck killer. Dexter's tender reaction toward these trophies shows his conflicted feelings, nostalgia mixed with discomfort, reminding viewers of the long, complicated journey of his dual life. 15. Cell phone and GPS tracking as a modern killer's vulnerability. Throughout Dexter Resurrection, technology plays a more pronounced role, particularly in scenes where Dexter uses cell phones with GPS and other tracking devices. This represents a modern vulnerability that contrasts the more analog methods featured in earlier Dexter series. The presence of these devices reflects today's heightened surveillance environment and Dexter's increased risk of exposure. Symbolically, it underscores the idea that his traditional kill room precautions require adaptation. The constant tension of being tracked and potentially discovered adds a layer of suspense, as Dexter must now navigate a world where every movement can be monitored, complicating his mission and stealth code. Now that every hidden clue and callback has been uncovered, it's time to shift from what was hidden to what was ritual. Every cut, every plastic sheet, every careful step meant something. Let's break down every step of Dexter's kill ritual and the dark psychology behind why he did it that way.